Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. So I just got back from Bucharest from casting the Dreamhack action, and I want to talk to you guys about that. I'm gonna probably make another video about all the things that went down that are a little bit outside the event, not completely, but right now I just want to talk about all the interesting things that happen at the event itself in regards to Hearthstone. I'm sure some of you guys saw it, and there's a little bit of feedback, decent amount of bad, but some good about how I did the casting and all that. And well, I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts on that as well. Well, that's probably the more relevant ones, I hope. So there was a lot of cool people there. I've done ESGN stuff. I've seen a lot of those people there as well, but some new faces I got to meet. There's a lot of unknown players out there that were really cool, like now Gypsy and guy who ended up winning the event. I guess I maybe shouldn't mention his name, as I know it's been broadcast. I know it's everywhere, but maybe you guys want to see that stuff. Who knows? And people pretty popular like Reynad were around, and meeting them was pretty fun. And casting the games on the first day, I was perhaps a little vicious on all that sort of stuff. And I want to tell you guys, my side of things and all the fun that I had. So people accuse me of having too much fun, taking the trolling a little bit too far on the first day, and I guess I redeemed myself on the second day. So the event was a 2-day thing. The first day we got in and started around 10 in the morning. I think the plan was to start at 9, but we started around 10 because, well, it's a bit of a mess with these events, and 1 hour delay really isn't all that bad. And I don't exactly remember the time that we left, but it was probably around 10:30 or 11-ish, something like that. So it was a good, 13 hours of being around there, and most of that time, in fact, just about all of it, I was casting, except for I took a break, I think, for 2 of the matches, and one of them I believe was forced because, well, not so pretty anymore. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys about that. So the day started off pretty terribly for me on the first day, that is. I don't know what it was, but I didn't really sleep very well. So I woke up with a headache, and the headache, as you can imagine, got worse as the day progressed. I didn't really get much good food after the morning. We ate at the hotel in the morning. That was pretty good. But throughout the day, I had like these cracker things and like popcorn and a bunch of like Coke and Mountain Dew. That's pretty much what I ate the entire day, and then went to the hotel and went to sleep. So yeah, I had that. I was really out of it. At the beginning, I was in the place where I wasn't really saying much about the actual games. I know Hearthstone pretty well, and just kind of having fun with it. So about halfway into the day, after meeting a few people and doing all the casting for a short while, I ended up doing something really dumb, and this is how I got this. And if I'll give you guys 2 possibilities of the stories that may have happened, just so I don't look completely stupid. You guys can choose one, and continue to think highly of your Lord Kripparrian. So story A, which may or may not have happened, is I went to Romania, and I looked very intimidating. So the 3 toughest guys in the room from Dreamhack Bucharest ended up jumping me, and they ended up giving me this. But I put them all in hospitals, and I feel very good because I'm just a really tough guy. So that's one of the scenarios that may have happened. The other scenario that may have happened is I may have been going to the bathroom, and I opened the door, and I turned around. Someone called me. It's like, "Hey, Crip." And then when I went to go to the bathroom again, I had forgotten that I had partially opened the door, and I had walked into it, at, I guess, in a reasonable hurry. That ended up bleeding. So I was bleeding from my head, and I didn't realize it at the time. Thinking about going to the bathroom, then it's like, maybe I should check, put my hand to my head, and oh, there's, the red juice, the good stuff. So, I was a little bit worried, but, it was all good. I ended up continuing the casting anyway. It actually cured the headache, so that's one to know. But, after that point, I was just having fun with it. I was wearing any kind of hats or whatever else. And I got in charge of the remote control for the stream, so I was having my fun with that. you know, the games are going pretty standard. A lot of the games were a lot of the decks that you guys see on ladder. Without much surprise, there was a lot of mid-range hunter, and when it would be mid-range hunter versus mid-range hunter, because I found the games pretty boring. I guess some people who aren't really familiar with Hearthstone may have found them exciting on some level, but I would pretty much just focus on the agony of the players as the other opponents, you know, would draw things like, oh, I don't know, Buzzard Unleash, or would, you know, get a nice string of Huffers or get a nice string of top decks. So I was mostly focusing on that, and I guess that took away from the actual game itself. But hey, there were a lot of games that day. The field was of 128 players, and after the first day of casting, we were down to 4. So that was a long day, and well, I had my fun of it. And I guess maybe that bit was a little bit too much, but I don't really hold back, so it is what it is. On the second day, it was pretty chill. We had to cast just a few games to get to 1 player. And I'm not going to spoil too much of how it went down, but it didn't take very long. Throughout that day, ended up, you know, doing a lot of photographs, signed a few things, met a few people, did some of the cool stuffs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We came back later in the day to watch Artosis cast some StarCraft 2, which was fairly amusing until the point at which we decided it's time to go, and that's about it. The Hearthstone tournament was really good in my opinion. I did a few interviews along the way which describe a lot of the thoughts, but you know, to reiterate again for an audience that is probably pretty fresh on the subject, it was a best of 3 all the way up to the final match, so a lot of players, despite how well they played, despite how good their decks were, got the short end of things and got knocked out. But in the end, the winner I felt was a very deserving player that played very well throughout the tournament, and pleased to say that we casted a lot of his matches, so it was really good stuff. In an environment where mid-range hunter was pretty much the dominant deck, you saw way too much of it in this tournament, as you do in ladder. It was, you know, kind of refreshing to see that the people who got really at the top were not really relying on this deck too much. So it was some nice dynamics, a lot of great matches, I met a lot of great people. And, well, apparently I did all right casting the second day to where some people changed their minds. But all in all, I think a lot of the negativity I received was because I poked a lot of fun at a streamer which is now, you know, fairly popular, our boy Raynad, and you know, some people don't really understand that, you know, I just pretty much say whatever I want, and to me, the best part of the internet is, you know, watching people get owned, watching people suffer, and I think that's why you guys like to watch me a lot of the time, because, well, you know, I get pretty owned, I get into that state where, you know, it's just epic depression within a video game, and I know some of you guys really love that from the chat, from a lot of stuff that I see. So, you know, I'm kind of the common guy on the internet that shows up at these tournaments to cast, and sometimes when I pick, you know, some people's, you know, favorite character, favorite guy in the tournament, you know, they get all hurt about it. So, you know, it's whatever. It was a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of cool interviews, and I believe a HyperX commercial that's going to come out of this Dreamhack. So a lot of good things. I'll talk about a few of the other things that I did while I was in Bucharest in another video, because I'd just be going on for too long. So that's it. I'm back. Streaming's back. It's all good. And you know, we'll see what other cool events I'll be doing in the future. So until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow.